Tom Wopat, the dark-haired Duke twin who roared into my life riding shotgun in the General Lee. While the buzz among the girls and the girly boys around my school playground clearly favored John Schneider as Bo Duke, I was strictly Team Luke. Maybe it was because he more closely resembled the men in my family, something I'll probably need to unpack in therapy someday. But alas, my dreamboat was often a fleeting vision during the series' run. You see, I grew up on a farm in real America, flyover country, as we called it back in the day, an area not unlike Hazzard County, though maybe with a bit less corruption. Our TV viewing habits were at the mercy of signals broadcast from towers near Indianapolis, Louisville, or Terre Haute. The strength of those signals? Heavily influenced by the prevailing winds. And the CBS signal, where the Dukes of Hazzard reigned supreme, was among the least reliable. Still, I usually managed to get my Luke Duke fix most weeks, albeit a snowy one, until that fateful night when my parents joined us in watching. Their critique was swift and brutal, the reckless driving of the General Lee.
Do you know how dangerous that is? They aren't even wearing seatbelts.
Their suspension is going to be shot in no time.
General Lee's Confederate flag detailing.
The only Confederate flag anyone needs to remember is the one they flew at Appomattox, the white one.
They were traitors, nothing more, nothing less.
Wardrobe malfunctions everywhere.
Wait, is she really wearing pantyhose? She's wearing pantyhose under cut-off shorts and spiked heels?
I like it. How about you, kid?
Fortunately, I didn't need to answer. They went on and on until they finally dropped the hammer. We were never allowed to watch the Dukes of Hazzard again. And just like that, my glimpses of Tom Wopat were reduced to quick peeks at the cover of Tiger Beat while waiting in line at the IGA. But young love is fickle, and the anguish was fleeting. Tom was soon replaced by other objects of desire. Little did I know that he'd be making a comeback in my life one day. Tom wasn't the good old southern boy Luke Duke made him out to be. Nope, he hailed from Lodi, Wisconsin, a small town about 36 miles from Madison, the state capital. A far cry from the back roads of Hazzard County, Tom was a Midwesterner through and through. Before he became a TV icon, Tom was honing his craft at the University of Wisconsin. After college, he took the soap opera route, landing a role on One Life to Live. But the bright lights of musical theater soon called, and Tom made a name for himself on Broadway. He starred in a number of productions, including I Love My Wife, showing off those vocal chops that could make anyone swoon. Tom Wopat wasn't just another pretty face. He was a bona fide theater talent. In those pre-internet days, I had no idea where Tom had landed after the Dukes of Hazzard. As far as I knew, he hadn't worked since Luke Duke last jumped into the General Lee. Then, shortly after moving to New York, I went to see City of Angels and was surprised to see his name in the playbill. The original cast had long since departed, and as a replacement, Tom wasn't heavily promoted. But when the curtain went up, Tom sounded great and still looked fabulous. Despite the long passage of time since I'd last gazed longingly at his face on the cover of Teen Beat. In the years since that fateful outing, I've regularly found myself in his orbit, at shows and cabaret performances, at fundraising galas, and even at industry parties. I've even met him, though he wouldn't remember, as part of an industry meet and greet. But what could I possibly say to him? Hi, my parents thought your show was trash and forbade me to watch it. Or, when I was 13, I thought of you every night before falling asleep. No one wants to hear that, especially not right after shaking your hand. Seriously, people, think about it. But you know, Tom Wopat is so much more than the good old boy I first crushed on. In person, he comes across as a nice, genuine guy, like that theater kid from high school who was always super talented but never let it get to his head. And in a 2016 interview with the Washington Blade, in connection with the release of Fair Haven, Tom even described himself as an ally, despite the character he played in the film. Sometimes it's okay to meet your heroes, or your crushes. So here's to Tom Wopat, who turned 73 on September 9th. From Luke Duke to Broadway star, and everything in between. You've still got it, Tom. Happy birthday. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, and of course subscribe to Gay Celebrity Crushes for more fabulous tributes like this one. Because darling, there are plenty more crushes to come.
Hoy desperté con un sueño, ver al mundo mejor, una vida pura entrega, donde brille el amor. Juntos podemos dejar el odio atrás, las razas, las guerras, las clases, las fronteras.